Alexanda at the Georgia National Museum for hosting this talk. I'm very excited to present about my research into the Samtavro cemetery, and this project is a small part of Gaia, which is Georgian-Australian investigation in archaeology, which is a collaborative project with the Georgia National Museum and the University of Melbourne. Next slide, please. Okay, so just a little bit of background first. I will be talking about Iberia here, Caucasian Iberia, which Iberia in Spain. As you can see from the geography, we have the Caucasus Mountains to the north, and then the Eurasian steppes, Anatolia here to the southwest. Caucasus had different climate to Iberia and was a separate kingdom with Greek colonies from the 6th or 5th centuries there, laying the groundwork for later for Romans coming through to Iberia. The Samtavro cemetery is located in Alexanda, the ancient capital, but of course it exists now, so you can visit Alexanda and indeed the Samtavro cemetery. The mountains protected this region, but also made it attractive to surrounding powers such as the Persians and Romans. There was also many natural resources such as gems, trees with excellent metallurgy. So if you've seen the exhibition here, the Georgian Treasury, you will have seen some of the really premier pieces from Alexanda. Okay, so here we have a sort of more specific map. Alexanda is here, and it's on the confluence of the Aragvi and Mitfari rivers. So the Aragvi was part of the trade route north to south, from the steppes to the south, and the Mitfari formed part of the east-west Silk Road trade route. So Alexanda was an important economic and trade area. And here I will be talking about cultural influences more later, but you can see in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd centuries with Georgia here, with the Black Sea to the west and the Caspian to the east, Georgia is here, and just the large expanse of the Roman Empire and how big this territory was. And also I must say that Caucasus became part of the Roman Empire, but Iberia remained political independence throughout. So there was cultural influence, but Iberia was an independent kingdom. Okay, so now we come to Alexanda. The Samtavro cemetery is here. It's about a site about 20 hectares in size, but there are also a lot of other important sites nearby from different periods. So we have Bebristica here to the north, the Status Cathedral, Javari Monastery. Here you can see a small picture of the confluence where the Aragvi and the Mitfari meet. And there are also two aristocratic sites nearby, Almaziskevi and Almazistika, or Bagineti, where actually some of our Georgian colleagues are excavating right now. So these were aristocratic sort of residences and places, and in Almaziskevi we have aristocratic burials, but at Samtavro we have more modest burials, so maybe where more common, normal, ordinary people were buried. And there has been a lot of work done there, and so I'm fortunate to be able to study the results of some of this earlier research. Okay, at the Samtavro cemetery there were 4 expeditions, and perhaps 4,000 tombs have been excavated there. In 2008, UNESCO determined this site to be one of the largest and one of the most important cemeteries in the Caucasus region. So excavations started there in 1870s under the Austrian Friedrich Bayern, and then later the second expedition there was a lot of important work done by Alexanda, who worked in the north area on the earlier period burials, and Ivashenko, who worked in the south area on the later period. So the Samtavro cemetery was used from the late Bronze to Iron Ages, so 1600 to 300 BCE, and probably from the 1st to 8th centuries, so Roman to late antique periods. And my research focuses on this later period, 100 to 800 AD, and the Roman and late antique. So the third expedition started in the 1970s, directed by MIchalevicz, with the expedition led on with the MIchalevicz Institute of Archaeology, and the fourth expedition was from 2008 to 2010. This is the Gaia project that directors MIchalevicz, and Antonio Sigona. So the research that I've conducted into the Samtavro cemetery focuses on the results of this third expedition and the fourth expedition, which I refer to as Samtavro 3 and Samtavro 4. Right, so in the next slide you will see just the difference in scale in terms of the excavations that happened there. As you can see, although the methodology changed, our work was much the same in terms of excavating the tombs, but the later Gaia project we opened far fewer tombs than the Samtavro 3 project. Now, my data is collected from primarily from the Samtavro archives, and especially the archive tomb folders, which were created for each individual tomb that was excavated. I've also referred to excavation reports and publications that have been written and published about Samtavro 3 and Samtavro 4. I did 3 years of fieldwork with Gaia at Samtavro, picture of some of our work, and I was fortunate enough to be able to access some of the material at the Archaeological Museum and to photograph some of these artifacts there. But I think it was only 5% of all the material culture that's been excavated at Samtavro. Okay, so in terms of data collection, Samtavro 3 identified and numbered 1,023 tombs. They excavated 898, and I was able to access all but 27 of the archive tomb folders for those tombs, so 871 in total. For Samtavro 4, we excavated 53 tombs, and I was able to access data for all of these. So in total, I've got 1,076 tombs that I'm researching, and 924 have data associated with them. Okay, so here you can see, this is Gaia, 2008, 9 and 10, 53 tombs, very small in proportion to the really huge amount of work that was done by Samtavro 3. And both expeditions were training students, obviously many more were trained by Samtavro 3, but this has resulted in a really very large body of work that has been done on this site, and a large amount of data is available for analysis. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, my research is mostly into the archival material. This is a template or tomb passport for each tomb of the information that was recorded. Unfortunately, I don't speak Georgian yet, but this template, I will see a translation of it in a moment, allowed me to extract much of the information which I've entered into a database that I've created for the Samtavro material. Okay, so I'm just going to run through a sample tomb just so you can see what the data is that I've collected and where it's come from. This is for tomb 302 from Samtavro 3. And this is, so based on the previous template, the tomb passport that we looked at, there is information here, so about, for example, external and internal dimensions, orientation, and the material culture contained within. Occasionally, the tomb archive folders would contain more than one, not copy, but a second person, and sometimes a third person would also write a report about the excavation. So this made it possible sometimes to check that I was getting the Okay, and then this is a translation of the tomb passport, and so about the information that is listed for each tomb, and that's how I was able to check that the data I was collecting that it was correct. Okay, so back to